But before we begin with any questions by the commission, is there anything that you'd like to offer by way of an introduction?
My name's John Locke. A lot of people are probably wondering why I may be looking at a job in Big Rapids, Michigan, when I live in Ohio, a little town in Ohio. My wife is from the area. Her family still resides here, and we're looking to relocate to this area. And when this opportunity presented itself, I thought it was a great fit from both my personal and professional, from both perspectives. Personally, I already shared with you, and professionally, I think that my background and my educational background and professional background would be a great fit for the position.
Well, from what I've read of references and comments that I've heard expressed by those that have interviewed you and what I found in my meeting with you myself, it's a pleasure to have you here this evening. So,
But John has a CPA.
John has a CPA and a bachelor's and a master's, am I correct?
I have a bachelor in accounting and a master in business administration, and I hold a CPA license in Ohio since 2007, and of course, if offered this position, I would look into transferring that license to Michigan to be able to conduct business as a CPA in Michigan.
And you're currently employed through Perry County Department of Job and Family Services, correct?
Yes.
And you're assistant director there?
Yes.
And you have been there since 2004?
Yes.
You want to tell us just a little bit about what some of your main duties are there?
Sure. Probably the largest part of what I do is the fiscal aspects of the organization. As assistant director, I do oversee the day-to-day general administrative operations of the agency too. We have 3 service departments and approximately 40 employees, and I directly supervise 5 of the management staff. And a lot of my fiscal related duties are similar to some of those tasks that were outlined in the job description and the posting. I am in charge of generating the budgets and monitoring the budgets throughout the budgetary cycle, and keeping the agency on track, because just because you generate a budget doesn't mean that's the way that you're going to everything's going to fall. So I monitor everything, and if things tend to get off track, make the right decisions to get the ship back on the sailing correctly, and also had the opportunity to work with the supervisors and on the program side of the agency too.
And he did fail to mention that he graduated with his bachelor's with a 4.0 and master's with a 3.85.
When we were talking about your CPA, Commissioner James asked you how many times you took the CPA exam if you passed all the parts. And you said once, and she said all. That impressed me. Something I remember from the interview. And I know that we're hearing Grandma and Grandpa cheering you on tonight, and I think that's nice that you have a tie to the area. The other thing I wanted to add is, and I don't want to in any way, shape, or form appear, those that know me know that I'm not sexist in any way, but having had experience in retail working with large groups of women, knowing that our treasurer will be working with women, and that you do currently in your position work with a majority of women, I think you have an ability to do that in a manner that is sympathetic, that is, how do I say this without getting in trouble? Help me, anybody. Right off the end of the
Sink it in the blood as we go.
you're now on your own commission.
I like to be there. I think that's a certain skill. I really do. And the ability to get along and to be understanding and listen, that's all part of it. I hope that part of the staff will agree with me. Thank you.
Questions or comments?
Well, I have no questions. We were introduced to John, and he came off to me as a very personable individual and very bright, and his credentials show that. And I'm just very pleased that this has all fallen together in this manner, and I'm hoping for the best here. I think that this is going to be a beautiful fit.
I don't really have any questions. I enjoyed meeting John as well, and I will say, having looked at the resume and also at the comments from people with whom you've worked and for whom you've worked, I would be most proud to carry those particular personal credentials anywhere to seek employment. They were truly impressive. And for the audience, it wasn't just one person who said, oh yeah, I think he's a nice guy. These were people who were very fulsome in their praise. 3 people, I believe, who had all worked with you or supervised you at some point. To make that impression on people is impressive. Not everybody does that. I feel real good about this.
Commissioner James, although you've had opportunities to interview Mr. Locke, you may have some questions for him in this setting, and if so, please.
I really don't have any questions, John, and as you said, I had the opportunity to be on the interview committee, and he did kind of float right to the top after his interview. He comes to us with, I think, a really good, solid background and good credentials, and you said you're excited? I'm excited, and I'm just sure it's a good fit for both.
Commissioner Rostand.
And I'm the same. John, it's been a great pleasure the interview process. When we finished, there was no doubt in my mind. And there's quite often at the end of a long series of interviews, and I know you've been there, that you have 2 or 3 people and you think, should I go with my gut? Should I go, who's going to be the best? And if I choose one and they aren't successful, well, there's just no doubt in my mind. There was none of that. We had some good people, well-qualified people apply for this job, and you did float to the top of it very quickly. We're delighted, and I think one of the things that's important to me, having lived here for as long as I have, my wife is fourth generation Big Rapids person, and I've been here for 50+ years. It's important to have a reason to be here. This is a wonderful place to live, a wonderful place to raise children. But it takes more than that. And it's a joy with your job and your family and your surroundings and the people you work with and the community. And I think this is an easy place for you to fit in with your knowledge. And the other thing I appreciate is your quick smile. I do. So thank you for being here.
A motion maker on the commission this evening.
I so move.
Support.
And is that the motion that's been presented? To extend the offer of employment to Mr. Locke as treasurer, terms of which will be communicated to and accepted by him before January 17, 2012, and subject to the outcome of his physical examination and any action to be taken by the commission at our regularly scheduled meeting on January 17, 2012. That's the gist of it? All right, it's been made. There's been a second to it. Any comments from the public? Commission comments or questions? All right, we'll vote on it.
Anderson?
Yes.
Hoganson?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Rothstein?
Yes.
Warba?
Yes. Thank you again, Mr. Locke. We hope to hear from you, and I'm sure we will within the next couple of weeks, and we'll target January 17th. Just for your information as well, that will be an evening that there'll be a formal resolution that will come to the commission with the appointment being made as state treasurer. So we had a little bit of discussion about this before the meeting began. It would be probably advisable for you to be there, but I understand with family and distance and current commitments you might not be able to, but you're certainly welcome. If you can attend, that would be understood. Let Mr. Sobers know in advance. But if it all works out well, we look ahead to January 17th.
Great.